What's up, world? It's your boy Tommy Mab. I know it's been a while. Um, I started. They for some reason they went through YouTube, and I guess they were going through like people who like I don't know that they considered like offensive, and I know a lot of my early videos were offensive, so I really don't know why they particularly chose my channel to target, but they did, and they decided to shut down my channel, which I'm fine with. Well, actually I wasn't fine with it because I was like, I don't even want to do it because at that point they can just do it at any point, and they really don't have to give you a reason for why you do it. So you sit up there and think in your mind like, why in the world should I even do it if at any point they can just stop it? But I do feel like sometimes I need to get my opinion on certain things. So I choose to do it. I'm definitely not gonna put any effort into it, or really as much as I used to that is. But I definitely want to give my opinion on certain things, and I feel like there's certain things I should give my opinion on. One of the first things I wanted to talk about was the whole situation with Roman Reigns and his situation with leukemia. Um, I've said for years that I feel like most of the smarts are idiots. They have no foundation in logic or common sense. They won't. It's like when you listen to liberals or Republicans, right? When you listen to people who are politically charged, they tend to have those people seem to have the least amount of objectivity because everything is political to them. So they don't care about gay people, but they realize gay people care about them. So in order to make their party look good, they'll take up for gay people. Republican people don't care about poor white people, but they will act like they do because they know that poor white people vote for them. So it's kind of like that. It's like they don't want to admit the Smarks don't want to admit that their hatred of Roman Reigns is based on the superficial. It has nothing to do with anything that goes beyond how he looks. So there are a lot of people who like Roman Reigns for how he looks, but there are a lot of people, majority of people who hate him because of how he looks. It has nothing to do with him as a person. It has nothing to do with him as his talent, the way he's been pushed. It's all just a load of bullshit. I don't want to, and this is what I've been hearing over the last couple of days since he came out. It's just lying. Oh, well, we never had a problem with Roman Reigns as a person. Yes, you did. All you did was talk about him as a person. You talked about him. You said he didn't have any work ethic. You said he was pushed. The way he was pushed was wrong. You basically, you guys hit him in the head with a freaking gold briefcase. Don't sit up here and tell me it was nothing personal. It was deadly personal. You guys made it your job to try to make the man lose his job. And a lot of people were talking about him. He shouldn't even be on TV. So don't give me this crap about, oh, well, we were just trying to do that. And I'm not trying to say that. Obviously, those are two different things. Obviously, their opinion on the guy changed when they realized what he was going through. But just say that. Don't sit up there and try to make people think that you weren't personal before. You were personal. You guys attack that guy personally all the time. Your criticisms of him didn't stop and start with the way he was booked. That's a lie. Your criticism of him came down to his work ethic, which is probably the hallmark of any person doing their job. So don't say it wasn't personal. It was personal. You wanted the guy to lose his job. You wanted him to lose his spot. It was personal. And all of those things that you wanted him to lose, they affect him as a person. So you can't turn around later and say, well, we didn't want him. We were just speaking about him as a wrestler. No, you weren't. You were speaking about him on a personal level. And if you're going to be speaking about him on a personal level, then own up to that. Nobody's saying you're a bad person. You didn't know the guy had leukemia. You didn't know that he had leukemia. There's nothing wrong with him in there. I didn't know he had leukemia. I was speaking from a place of ignorance. I didn't know. Just say that. But it's like it's annoying to me because a lot of them are trying to act as if they were never personal, and you were personal. You know what I mean? You just feel stupid now, and because you feel stupid, you're trying to throw dirt over all your crap, and that's not true. You guys were personal. You know what I mean? You guys used to attack the guy, you used to hit him with stuff. What do you think that that you're hurting Roman Reigns and not Joe Anoa'i? You're hurting both of them. You know, it's like I don't understand that logic that they keep trying to push, that we weren't trying to be personal. You were trying to be personal. Now, does that make them bad people? Of course it doesn't make them bad people. You know what I'm saying? They didn't know, and they were speaking from a fan standpoint. They were just, you know, they got overzealous. I understand that, but just admit that. But I'm just seeing too many people hiding behind the fact that, well, you know, I wasn't speaking about him as a person. Yes, you were. Regardless, I understand that, you know. I didn't know he was going through that. You know what I'm saying? Now that I do, I have more respect for him than I had before. And the fact that he never used it to his advantage makes you respect it more. And I understand that. You have to respect that. That guy could have told people he had leukemia a long time ago, and he would have got an immense amount of support. But he never told anybody. Half the people on the roster didn't even know. You know what I mean? And it makes you feel like crap if you are a person sitting around talking about that guy's work ethic and all the things that he's going through and all that stuff when he's battling leukemia. That just shows you the immense amount of ignorance and stupidity that goes into criticizing people when you don't know stuff. That's why I always tell people I never want to see Kevin Owens. I never want to see Sami Zayn. I never want to see any of those guys hurt, lose their ability to provide for their family. I don't think any of them. But I've said from the get-go, my opinion goes here. I believe they have a better chance at feeding their families when guys like Roman Reigns are on top. When they are on top, they are hurting their ability to feed their family because they are hurting the product. I never spoke and said I wanted anything negative to happen to anybody on that roster because I am not an idiot and I understand that people are human beings. You don't want to see anybody hurt. You want to see people do their best, and when they do their best, you want to see them. You want to see them get better and better and better, but you don't want them put in positions and slam jacked in positions because a bunch of idiots want to live vicariously through them. That's not how you do it. So I truly am not personal when I give critiques on wrestlers. You guys are. You want people to lose their jobs. You want people to be cut. I've heard them say they don't like people. They shouldn't be on the roster. They should be dropped. They should take them out of that's affecting people's ability to feed their families. I don't want to see anybody get fired. I'm not going to cheer because Ryback got fired. You guys did. You guys are not, you do not get to play. It's not personal card because you guys are personal all the time. When you're hitting people in the head with gold suitcases, it's personal. When you're going on campaigns to get people fired, it's personal. When you went around, like I said before, Roman Reigns, but once again, this is my whole point of making the video because I felt like there's a need to speak on this. For the years that I was saying, you don't know people's problem. You don't know what these people are doing. What makes Brian, whatever his name is, Daniel Bryan, a hard worker, and Roman Reigns not? If they're both showing up to every show and they're both putting on matches. Why is he a hard worker and he's a guy who's overly pushed? Why is Finn Balor not overly pushed when he's given the title in NXT a month after he get there? But Roman Reigns is over pushed because people like him. There's a line and there's a blur, and I've said this for years. Roman Reigns has dealt with so much crap, and when I saw that speech, I'm gonna sit up here and say I got teary-eyed. That's a lie. I didn't, but I did have an immense amount of sympathy and empathy for that situation. And I had an enormous amount of respect for him. Way more. I had respect for him before in the light of him in lieu of everything that I now know. To know that, even before that, I had respect for him because to be able to develop and get as good as he has gotten with the level of scrutiny and unfair critiques to him, you know what I'm saying? Everything he does is, oh, see, that's why he's not the man. But their guys are not selling out shows, happen to pair their pay-per-views because they can't carry them by themselves, and they say it's WWE's fault. So why is it always WWE's fault when your guy can't get over, but when Roman Reigns can't get over, it's his own fault? because he isn't the guy. He doesn't have it. But your guys aren't getting over, and it's just because WWE doesn't know how to use the talent they have. You know, Roman Reigns has gotten over, and you see from the immense amount of outpouring support that a lot of people watched Raw purely for Roman Reigns. All the people that you guys said were figuring that I was pointing out week after week after week that were dropping off every time the guy wasn't on there. Those are the guys. That is a large demographic of their viewing audience. That guy that tunes in just to watch that guy. And if you can't respect him for that, then you're an idiot. You sit up here talking about his inability. And I'll say this 10 million times, and I'll continue to say it. Wrestling is about entertaining people. Everything else is just side. It's as necessary as it's about as necessary as me giving you a side without a main hors d'oeuvre. I mean a main entree. I need the main. The other stuff is just throw in. But when I'm picking my stuff to eat, I'm looking at steak, chicken, you know what I mean? So on and so forth. I'm looking down the menu at the entree. I don't pay attention to the sides. The sides, after I choose the entree, they get factored in. Okay, I got chicken here, but okay, this is a side. Sides get factored in, but they are not what you're looking at the menu to see. Your entree is what you're there to see. And that's the same thing with Roman Reigns. You're there. Roman Reigns is the entree. Everything else is the side. Braun Strowman is the entree. Even to an extent, Seth Rollins is the entree. Dean Ambrose, I haven't been watching Raw, so I have no idea what's going on with Dean Ambrose or any of those guys. So I don't know how well they're doing. I don't know if they're doing good. I haven't looked at ratings, and I haven't looked at wrestling, the ratings, nothing. If this thing with Roman Reigns wouldn't have happened, I probably wouldn't be watching it now. But you know, they for years they buried this guy. You know what I'm saying? And to sit up there and say it had nothing to do with him as a person is a lie. They rarely ever criticize Roman Reigns' character. They generally always criticize his work ethic, his ability to be propped up even though he didn't deserve it, and taking that and saying that he's a bad person for taking on those roles. Even like, what is he supposed to say? No. I remember saying a million times, what is he supposed to say? No. You're criticizing and you're attacking him for just trying to feed his family. What is he going to say? No, I don't want the title. You criticized him. So you criticized the guy. I had no idea what he was going through. I had no idea all the things he had to do to show up. And you did it. Even before this, when I started looking into this whole situation, look back, they were criticizing him because he missed 2 or 3 shows before this one. So don't tell me this was never personal. This was always personal. And they were criticizing Dave Meltzer, especially for him. I mean, I'm not saying he shouldn't show support. I said this a million times. Yes, he should show support, but put it in the proper context. Say I'm only speaking in that way because at first I did not know his situation. Now that I know his situation, it totally changes my opinion on him as a person. Don't lie and say you never had those opinions. You know you had those opinions, and you know you were personal, and you know a lot of things you were saying was below the belt stuff. They criticized the guy because they say he missed a couple shows he was billed for. That was the reason why he had to come out in the first place and say he had leukemia, was because they were criticizing because he missed shows. And that's the problem. When you do not understand the business, don't make comments about it. You don't understand. You don't have Triple H's job. You don't have Stephanie McMahon's job. You're not there. You don't know the things that they know. So stop criticizing them for doing things when you have no idea all the things and all the red tape and all the freaking knobs and whistles that they have to see on a daily basis that you don't. You're not getting calls from people saying they can't show tonight because they have a messed up knee, or they can't be in this thing because they don't like this guy. They are. You don't understand what's going on behind the scenes, so stop criticizing what's going on when you have no idea what their reasoning behind doing this. Even this whole situation with Dean Ambrose. As I said, I haven't watched wrestling in a month, so I have no idea if Dean Ambrose has been doing good or bad. But what I can tell you is, who cares? It's not like he's killing it as a face anyway. So that would get why are they making Dean Ambrose a heel? You really, if it fails, they're just switching back to fakes. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? It's like, right now, they are scrambling. They just lost their top ticket. That's a reason why Roman Reigns has to be inserted in every single storyline, because he is the only viable guy outside of maybe Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman. Elias is getting there, but outside of those three, I mean, Dean Ambrose is just coming back, so he's on that level too. But he's not. He has to get back acclimated, because fans who weren't really big fans of him before he left, now it's like, okay, he's associated with the Shield, so now we like him, but we don't know if we like him individually. We just kind of like him as the ensemble. So you really don't know. You can't really bank a lot on Dean Ambrose, because you really don't know if they like the Shield or if they like Dean Ambrose. So right now, it's not that he's not popular. It's just you don't know really if he's popular or if the Shield is popular. So you don't want to. You're not gonna base a lot on Dean Ambrose. So you're not turning Seth Rollins heels. He's one of the biggest faces in the company right now. Braun Strowman is a tweener, and you've already turned him heel. That's not going to surprise anybody. Elias, from all accounts, I didn't see it, so I don't know. I just kind of heard that they're trying to turn him face. And I didn't watch the clip, but I saw like something that showed him attacking Baron Corbin. I didn't watch it, so if I'm quoting it wrong, then I apologize, because I didn't watch it. But my point in saying is I really just watched Roman Reigns' announcement and then kind of stopped watching. And I'm pretty sure I probably am not the only one who saw Roman Reigns' announcement and then just stopped. They're going to have a hard time replacing that guy. Like I said before, Roman Reigns has the look. He has the charisma. He has the ethnicity thing down pat, because he's Samoan, which a lot of people see as a minority, and a lot of minorities, to me, he has that thing to him. It's going to be real hard to replace him with a run-of-the-mill guy. And they were already kind of struggling, and then you take out their main attraction. It's like, man, who are they going to really? Braun Strowman? No, Braun Strowman doesn't have Roman Reigns' appeal. To have a guy who can wrestle that good, who has the look, who has, like I said, the charisma, and without even speaking, the charisma and the legendary status from being in the Shield, it's going to be real hard to replace Roman Reigns. It's going to be almost impossible to replace. They're going to have to bring John Cena back, which I don't know if they can do it, because John Cena is a big-time player in Hollywood right now. He's in a lot of movies. So I don't know if he will ever be able to go back to being what he was 2 or 3 years ago. John Cena is becoming a player in Hollywood, like Batista and John Cena, and I really don't see, in The Rock, which is surprising. I haven't heard The Rock speak on it, and I know him and I thought him and Roman Reigns were like family, but I haven't really heard much about his thoughts on this whole situation. But anyway, to those, I just want to come in and speak on that real quick. To those who don't know, I have split my channels up. My other channels, I have a football State of the Union and I have a basketball State of the Union. This is what pretty much it's going to be. I'm not going to be super editing stuff down anymore. I'm really just going to give my reviews and commentating on certain things. And that's how I'm going to do it. Because right now, like I said, I don't really have the time. As you can see, my little spud over here is a full-time job, and then I have a full-time job, and I write. So it's just a lot of different things that are going on. But I will try my best to give you guys content. Please take the time. This is my Slaying Smarks channel. So only thing that will be on here is Slaying Smarks. So if you're a guy that likes to hear my basketball commentating and all that other stuff, I have it's connected to my channel. And it's my Tommy Maverick channel. So if you put in Tommy Maverick in search results, you should be able to find my other channels. But I have a basketball channel, a football channel, and I have a more of a news, current events, pop culture channel. So all those things, all those channels, like I said, if you really just want to wrestle, you're really not gonna have to mix in anymore. Because I think if I'm starting over anyways, I might as well start and split it up instead of having it all meshed in together, because I lose track, you know, when it's like that. So if you are a fan and you really want to catch my stuff, like I said, Slam Smarks generally only I generally only speak on things when they're big stories or when they're situations, because I'm a casual fan of wrestling. I'm a long time casual fan of wrestling, but by the same token, I'm a casual fan of wrestling. So I will speak on it. I'll speak on a lot of issues as they come forward, especially in the lieu of Roman Reigns disappearing. I am going to be talking about the discrepancy and how they're scrambling, and the hypocrisy of them wanting him gone for so long. Now he actually is gone, and I guarantee you it will not be a good thing for wrestling, and it will only prove my point that he should have been in the spot that he was in way before he actually was. So, but anyways, please comment. Let me know what you think. My prayers go out to Roman Reigns and his family, you know, his daughter, and that's a sad business, man. I hear a lot of people saying, well, he can control it, he can beat it. I don't know. There are a lot of people that died. It is a terminal illness. People can die from it, and there's a good chance you can die. It's not like, oh, well, it's not like AIDS, you know, like AIDS, people die too, but AIDS, it's for the most part, you can keep your symptoms with enough medication. You can keep the symptoms down, and you just have to go to the doctor a lot. You know, certain leukemia is kind of like that, but the acute leukemia there's a cure for, but chronic leukemia, which I'm pretty sure is probably what he has, there is no cure for that. You can just treat the symptoms, and I think if that is the case, I think his wrestling days may be over, because the amount of the toll that chemo and stuff puts on your body. There are people who chemo will mess you up. You know what I mean? Chemo, radiation therapy. I mean, it's bad. You know, I had a couple people in my family die of cancer. It is not good. You know what I mean? It's hard to deal with. So any idiot, and I saw a couple idiots on Twitter writing, well, you know, I'm sorry to say this, but this is a good thing for wrestling. There's a special place in hell for people like you. And you're a worthless, pathetic human being who in your heart of hearts, you are a sad, disgusting person. Anybody that can take a person fighting for their life and find it and their silver lining in it is that, oh, I don't like him as a wrestler, so I'm happy that he's gone, even though he's gone because he might be fighting for his life. You are a disgusting human being, and there is a special place in hell for people like you, because you have no sympathy or empathy for anybody. That level of selfishness and conceited selfishness, to think that you're actually saying what actual people think. No, you're not saying what actual people think. You're saying what you're thinking, because you're an extremely deranged person. You need to get help. Anybody who would go to those links to speak negatively about a guy fighting for their life, you are a disgusting human being. And I saw, and they try to make it look like it was smatter. No, I went down that timeline. There were plenty of people writing that, because I told you before, these Smarks are the worst form of humanity. They are people who have been kicked around, not because people don't like them because they're fat or because they're not good looking. These are people who are kicked around because they're assholes. You get kicked around because you're an asshole, not because you're a nerd, not because you don't have the prototypical Ken Barbie look, not because because you're not a great athlete. You're kicked around because you're an asshole. And people, and I've seen this a million times. You'll see a girl who's way overweight. She'll have a best friend who's pretty, athletic, everything else. Same thing. You see guys who are not so good looking hang around guys who are not good. It ain't got nothing to do with how you look. It has everything to do with who you are. And they run around with their parents telling them that it's the world's fault that they don't have any friends. It's the world. No, you don't have friends because you're an incredibly selfish person. You're a person who only cares about who who thinks that you're blunt, but you're really just an asshole, and you think that your cynicism makes you appealing to other people, and it doesn't. This makes you a gigantic asshole, and that's why people don't like you, and that's why people beat you up and they slam you in the lockers because of that. There are people who get bullied all the time, and I'm not saying everybody who gets bullied it's their fault by any means. There's some people that fight every day and they still get bullied, and I'm not trying to say that. What I'm trying to say is understand these people that you're trying to reach are people that are inhuman monsters, and they will sit up there, and I see all the time, no matter what the situation is, they will go on there and troll on people's pages who are going through some serious situations, and those people are the most disgusting people you will find on earth. It's just sadly that so many of them have congregated into one body, which is the Smark community. When I went down that line, I saw all the. Now I'm not gonna. It was a bunch of people saying nice things about Roman Reigns, saying you'll beat this, da 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 da. I mean, it's a lot of guys who criticize Roman Reigns openly, who had nice words to say about Roman Reigns, and for that you applaud it. It's not bad. Like I said before, you're not bad for having a bad opinion about Roman Reigns before, and understanding now that that you may have been a little short-sighted in your critiquing of him. There's nothing wrong with that, as long as you can admit it. But I just don't like people that turn around and try to act like they were never that harsh on him. You were. But regardless, that's all I want to say. And like I said, please subscribe to this channel. Comment, thumbs it up. If you have friends who do watch my channel and don't realize that I put up my new channel, please, if you can do me a solid and share it and let them know that I have a new channel now, that I've restarted my channel, please do that. And for the rest of y'all, I'll see y'all throughout the week. Like I said, I'll try my best to try to put up some content. But like I said, I got a lot of stuff going on. But I will try my best to put up, because even before, three or 4 weeks before they decided to cancel my channel, terminate my channel, I wasn't putting up content anyways. The last time I put up content was like a month earlier. So, so I will try to be more content oriented, because then there was really nothing to talk about. Football hadn't started yet. I mean, it barely started. Basketball wasn't here, and wrestling was a dumpster fire. So so it's just one of those things. But I will be trying to post as much as I can. If you like it and you like what you see, please take time to comment, thumbs it up, and subscribe. Please subscribe. Peace.